I'm Mikhail Thalen with Seattle Activist Report, and we're here with Ryan Brooks, host of the Sound of Freedom Radio on the Orion Talk Network. Thanks for being with me, Ryan.
No problem, Mikhail. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. So first, just tell us a little bit about yourself and what woke you up.
Well, I was born and raised in Washington State. I was in the military. I was a cavalry scout in the U.S. Army for almost 5 years. I was involved in Operation Enduring Freedom in 2009, 2010 in Afghanistan. And that's what really started to wake me up, actually. Seeing, that we're just doing nothing but nation building down there, getting blown up in IEDs, seeing people get hurt for no reason, catching Taliban and having to let them go. Things like that really started to make me kind of question. And the old saying, teacher can't teach until the student is ready to learn. So when I came home, I was ready to learn. And then next thing you know, I was on YouTube. I started finding videos about 9/11. I had no idea about things like Building 7. And once I found out about that, man, it was game over from there. I've just been researching and digging for the truth ever since.
All right. So if you could just describe Sound of Freedom Radio.
Yeah, Sound of Freedom Radio is it's a political talk show. It's nonpartisan. We're Bloodlickens. We're not Democrips. We're freedom lovers. We're truth seekers. And what we're trying to do on this show is not only expose the disinfo that you get from the idiot box, I mean the television. Not only do we try to expose that for the hoax that it is, we also try to help you understand, the listener understand, about the coming economic collapse. And we try to give everybody the means possible to be aware of what's going on, to prepare for what's coming, and also we'd like to be a platform for people to call in, join the chat. So I like to say it's the people's radio. I just have the benefit of being able to host it, but really it's just a voice out in the wilderness trying to put it down out here in Washington, get something good going.
Very cool. So out of all the things you could have done once you started getting involved, why did you choose to go into radio?
That's a great question. I know there's a guy out there who likes to say that in the liberty movement and the freedom movement, we need full spectrum dominance. We need liberty garbage men. We need liberty teachers, radio hosts, politicians, everything. So I just realized after, talking to a lot of people and hearing it, it started to become a reoccurring thing. Like, hey, man, you should try to do radio. Just your ability to speak, that's just your greatest asset. When I volunteered for Ron Paul, I made thousands of phone calls, literally, and people would say, wow, you're really good at this. And I just thought, well, I'm a people person. So I just got motivated after I worked a couple of crappy jobs after I got out of the military. I said, you know what, this isn't the life for me. I quit the jobs, and I started on, I don't even remember the name of it now, but I started by myself doing the radio from my computer with 0 listeners. And now it's just been growing, and it's starting to go viral, so it's really exciting.
Very cool. So what would you say is the most important news story right now?
Well, contradictory to what the media is saying, I don't think the RNC is very important. It is unfortunate to see how bad the Republican Party, the Bloodlicken Party, has pretty much shut the door on the Ron Paul supporters, just blatant rule breaking. And I know that's kind of a drama. We like drama as humans. We like the old story, whatnot. But I think right now the biggest story would have to be what's coming on Friday. Economic news, the announcement of the chairman of the Federal Reserve, Ben Bernanke. Apparently, he's going to make some announcements possibly about quantitative easing to the 3rd degree. And I really think that's a huge deal. I know most people would rather talk about LeBron James's new shoes or, how preseason football is going. But, folks, the fact that the chairman of the Fed is going to come out and make some announcements, that's always going to affect our economy. So I think that's definitely the biggest news out there right now. I don't care about the saga between Barrett and Obama. Mittens versus Bierik. That's all just nonsense. It doesn't matter. I definitely think we should be paying attention to Ben Bernanke on Friday, and also, like we were talking about, check out the alternative media websites like OrionTalkRadio.com so you can get an idea of the police state that's going on in Tampa. That's the news to me. I mean, they've got the drones in the sky. They've got wraiths on the ground, these little automated RC cars that can shoot you with shotgun rounds. 4 police for every activist down there. It's just, if you want to see what the goal of the people who hate this country is, just look no further than the RNC. So I think that's important, but once again, the news on Friday that the Fed's going to come out and bring out, I think that's definitely the biggest news.
So do you personally think that they're going to go ahead with QE3, or do you think they're going to hold it off?
That's a tough one. I know that we've been expecting QE3. I'm not an economist, so I don't know. I'm just kind of rolling with the punches, but I don't know. Who knows? I mean, they did this whole Operation Twist thing, which is kind of like a not quite QE3, so I don't know, man. Who knows what's going to happen? We can keep our fingers crossed, but at the same time, if he does come out and do QE3, that's just more writing on the wall for folks to just get ready, because every time they do this, it's like giving a cocaine addict a little bit more cocaine. You give the economy a little push with some new money, and it feels good for a while, but by the time it trickles down to us, the little guys, the economy's coming down harder and feeling worse than it did before it got the last hit. So, yeah, man, good question, but I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see.
All right. And so just so everyone knows, what days are you on the radio?
I'm on the radio live Monday through Friday, 4 and 6 p.m. on the West Coast. That'd be 7 to 9 on the East Coast on OrionTalkRadio.com. We have a really cool chat room there. I know a lot of your guys from the Seattle Activist Report drop by in the chat. I like to really bring that up because that's things that the lame stain media does not have. They don't have a chat room where you can debate issues long after I'm bringing them up. So yeah, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6, and we're working on pushing it to 3 hours. So hopefully soon, 4 to 7, we're going to try to get going here.
And so you're also working on a website right now, but to get a hold of your radio show, that's blogtalkradio.com, correct?
That was the old one. It's Orion Talk Radio. I know, man. I make the same mistake sometimes. OrionTalkRadio.com. If you go to the shows and hosts, you can see the little breakdown about the Sound of Freedom. If you go to the archives, you can listen to every show I've done. We've almost been on Orion Talk now for about 2 weeks. So we've got all kinds of links on there. Every broadcast is getting better. I don't have a degree in broadcasting. Just learning, and I can remember, like I was saying, I can remember the day where I was sitting here by myself like, welcome to the show, and there's 0 listeners on the screen, and now we're literally getting 1 to 2 to 300 people at a time who listen live. The chat room fills up with people, and then the rebroadcast, people just keep downloading the archive, so it's really exciting. But yeah, just OrionTalkRadio.com is the best place to find the Sound of Freedom.
Cool. All right, do you have any advice for any other liberty lovers out there?
Definitely. Well, first and foremost, don't ever be satisfied with your version of the truth. You should never stop and just say, okay, I know enough now, because the wise man knows just how little he knows. Truth is stranger than fiction. I mean, it's designed to blow you away. So just never be satisfied with what you're learning. And also, like we've talked about, Mikhail, the new activists, or the new patriots, the people who are waking up right now and who are realizing we have a major problem, I would advise to just keep that on the DL. Don't start spamming your Facebook. Don't start doing anything that would link your name to the fact that you're starting to wake up. Because, I mean, you know it as well as I do, man. People like us we are on a list of some sort. I mean, I'm a white military veteran with Ron Paul stickers on my car. So that right there is a violation of, like, boom, 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 all kinds of laws, or rather signs of terrorism. I talk about things like the Constitution. My smartphone here is just all kinds of crazy. I'm about ready to get rid of that thing. So what I'm getting at is, for the old school, or not really old school, but the people who are doing their thing right now, we just need to be loud and proud and just keep doing it. But for the new generation, the new group of people that are waking up every day, just be quiet about it, because you know what? It's scary to some, and it is kind of a disturbing reality, but they do have plans in the works to take people like you and like me and others who aren't scared. They're going to try to take us away at some point. And rather than to have the ability to take all of us away, it would just be smart on their part to just totally be quiet, lay low, educate yourself the best you can, get ready the best you can, and then that way, if they actually do something wild where they try to take away all these people who can see this for what it is, they won't be able to do it.
And
so I'm kind of rambling, brother, but that's
may
what.
sound crazy to some, but we see in the news that there are literally thousands of military veterans that are getting picked up and thrown in the loony bin all over the country right now that the media's not talking about. So this isn't some conspiracy. This is something that's going on as we speak.
Definitely, and you know, a lot of people get scared hearing about it. I know I kind of freaked out when I first heard about it, but we cannot allow them to control us with fear. I mean, I know in my heart what I'm doing is right. You know in your heart what you're doing is right. And we don't need some type of government entity to tell us what you're doing is right or what you're doing is wrong. And unfortunately, what we say is right is now wrong. You know, truth is treason in the empire of lies, and that's where we're living. But yeah, once again, just don't ever stop trying to educate yourself, and just be aware that as soon as they find out that you're in the know, that you can see, you know, just be advised. You know, they've got all kinds of fusion centers and lists and all these things to track you. So just try to stay off those the best you can.
Very true. I remember the first time I saw the Department of Homeland Security watching me. It was quite great. So maybe you'll save me a seat on the bus, the train, wherever we're transported to.
Oh, you know it, brother. It'd be
Very cool. All right. Well, thanks for letting us interview you, Ryan.
Hey, no problem, man. It's great talking with you, and I just want to let everybody know that this is just another great example of what liberty can do, because Mikhail's up north doing his thing with the Seattle Activist Report. I'm down south doing my thing with the Sound of Freedom, and we just click, all right? When you find people who understand what's going on and they want to do something about it, it's just an incredible thing. So my hat is off to you, my friend. Thank you so much for what you're doing, and just keep fighting the good fight.
Yeah, thank you. Good talking to you.
No problem, man. Take care.